Good evening, everyone. Can anyone hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. So I'm just sure that everybody can hear me. Okay, perfect. I'll just give the next 3 minutes for those who are joining late to join in. So if you know you have a classmate that you know the person, just let the person just join in. I'm giving the person just 3 minutes and they will begin the class. Hope everybody is ready. Hope you have your system ready. Your system should be in front of you and stuff like that because we're going to be doing a lot of setup today. We're going to be creating accounts, stuff like that. So I just hope everyone is ready. Apologies for I wasn't around on Sunday. I believe so. Yeah, for Sunday. Apologies for that. I actually had my flight rescheduled, so I just had to just take that fast flights within that particular time just for me to be able to meet up where I need to be on Monday. So so sorry about that. I promise it won't happen again. It was just an unscheduled trip. Apologies to everyone. So I'll just like I said, I'll by this is 6:05. By 6:08 we start. So whoever is not here, we just pick up from the recording. Okay, we start. So this is already 10:09. I believe everyone is here. So whoever is not here, I might pick up from the recording. So good evening, everyone. I can see that we have some fine faces here. So I'm just gonna say welcome to today's class, and I'll just get right into it. Give me a minute. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. So is everyone here? I believe everybody can see my screen. Okay, everyone can see my screen. So, first of all, before I start, I'll ask: is there anyone here that has a Mac? Because I'll be making use of a Mac system, but I want to confirm if there's no one that has a Mac, I'll be using the Windows just to accommodate everybody. So I have all this, I have everything in place already. So is there anybody that uses a Mac? So when I'm referring to tools, I can refer to both the Mac users and the Windows users because these are two separate machines. So from my own end, I'll be using I'm currently using a Mac right now. So I might be communicating based on the Mac OS, but I'm still going to be communicating on the Windows parts. So okay, I think for a better view, so we're going to be doing the integration with the Windows, but already have most of those things installed here. So just to accommodate everybody, since there's no one using a Mac, so let's just move on to the Windows parts. Okay, so last week we talked about the introduction to DevOps. So let me just be sure that we all followed up. So last week, where I was able to introduce DevOps, I was able to tell us how DevOps came about, development and operations, and the role of a DevOps. We're able to understand DevOps properly. Like I said, everything that DevOps does mostly is all about automation. So whatever fasten the releases of software or make collaboration easy is the work of a DevOps. So everything collaboration and quick release of software, a DevOps engineer comes in there. So everything automation. So we are going to be doing mostly setup today. So we're going to be doing more of a setup today because by Saturday. So our classes are Saturday, Sunday, and then Thursday. So by Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be talking about virtualization and we're going to be looking at introduction to a Linux machine. So that's when we start learning some command lines and stuff like that. So, but for today, we're going to be setting up those tools that will accommodate us for our Saturday and Sunday class. So, which is going to be the more intensive class. And today also, I'll be dropping off a quiz today against Saturday class that is going to carry out basically what I taught last week and also what I'm going to be talking about today again. So it's just for me to ensure that everybody is in it together and we are actually following up on the class. So I'll just get right into it. Okay. Okay. So before I move on to our setup, I'm going to be. I don't know if any of us have heard about you've been hearing CICD, CICD, CICD. Um, let's. I like my class to be actually, you know, we should actually be collaborative. So I always like us to actually communicate. It creates that bond. So I like to bond with my students. So, okay, Moji Grace, you're raising up your hand. You could speak up. Hello. Oh, okay. You're
Hello.
Okay, Godwin is also Angela. So is not present. Okay.
Hi, good
Uh,
evening.
good evening. Who
Yeah,
is
good
going
evening.
first?
Yeah,
Come.
this good.
Okay, Godwin.
Okay,
Okay, because
yeah. So the concept of CID/CD, it's continuous integration, consider continuous development. Yeah, it's concept whereby it's an automation process whereby from the developer to the cybersecurity person that's scanning the application, and when the application is built by the developer, there's a certain requirements it's supposed to meet. When you pass it, you don't have to start manually go and checking it. The system will check it and say, does it meet the criteria? Yes. Next thing, it goes to go and deploy to, when they push a button, it goes to go and deploy to the UAT environment where they can test or you go to the production. That's just the concept of CICD, continuous integration for deployment, just to avoid manual inputs. Thank you.
okay, okay, that's correct. But partially not in depth, and sometimes we confuse continuous integration from continuous development because yeah, as much as they work hand in hand, they are like two different things. One continues from where one stage stopped. So just let me just get right into it. So I'm not teaching CI/CD today, but it's just an introduction because the tools we are going to be setting up is I just want us to know some tools that are for continuous integration and some that is for continuous development. So that's why I'm not teaching it in depth today. There's going to be a time whereby we're not going to go in depth into CI/CD. So don't just think that okay, this is just the CI/CD class. No, this is just the introduction to CI/CD for you to have an idea. So so it's a very simple process. It's CI/CD in a very simple term, it's all about automation. So automating the whole process. Now, for continuous integration is the process of automatically building and testing code every time a developer pushes into a shared repository. Now, it can be a central, you can call it a central hub or a repository for those that maybe are hearing repository for the first time. So, um, I'm coming to that. I'm going to explain that. So, practically, let me just explain. I always like explaining it in a layman term. Now, I talked about last week the SDLC process, software development. Hmm, sorry, give me a minute. Let me just. Okay, so where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Okay, continuous integration and continuous development. So like I said last week we talked about SDLC. So I was able to explain to us how the whole process works. That's the software development life cycle, how the whole process works. Now, if we could remember vividly, we talked about how DevOps comes into operations in terms of how um, we move code from the developer making changes to code, pushing that particular code to production to tester testing, and then coming back with errors, and then before the operation guys, which is the server guys, from their normal strict process to going into the agile process. We talked about the agile process. Remember, I told you that what the DevOps comes into play is letting the operations know that okay, yes, I know you are going through a strict process, but you should understand that the dev team actually goes through an agile process. Why the dev guys should understand that okay, yes, your operations team is working towards a strict process. So you want to ensure that there's a collaboration. So that's where the dev and operations comes in, and that's where the DevOps engineer comes in to automate this whole process. So we talked about that last week. Now, bringing us back to CI/CD, continuous integration. Now, like I said continuous integration is the process of automatically building and testing code every time a developer pushes changes to a shared repository. Now, like I said, I'm going to explain the repository part of it. So now, when it comes to CI/CD, let me not put it in the normal layman term. Now, Imagine a software. Let's say BC has a software, and that software is an e-commerce software, and some group of developers are working on that particular software. And let's say James and John are the developers working on those particular software. Now, when James and John work over 3 weeks, they do different types of code, they push their code, like they've worked on everything concerning that particular e-commerce project, and then they are ready to push those particular code. Now they push it to a central hub, a shared hub, or you can call it a central hub. Now, what do we mean by central hub? Central hubs are like GitHub, your Bit bucket. So it's not just everybody. I know everybody's familiar with GitHub. We always hear GitHub, 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 GitHub. But I know all of us are familiar with it. But we also have Bit buckets. So we call these tools version control system. So a version control system, like I said, we should be having our notes. I might be a little, if I'm too fast, you can tell me to slow down a little. Okay, let me slow down because I feel like I'm too fast. So now when it comes to version, a version control system is a centralized location to store code. It's as simple as that. So a version control system is a centralized location to store code. It's as simple as that. Now, what do I mean? Version control system, like your GitHub, your Bitbucket. There are so many, depending on whatever the organization is using. So they are just a central location to store code, like a central hub system. So where you just store your code. So that's what the GitHub does, and that's what the Bitbucket does. But you always get the version control system. So moving on to it. Now, this CI, which is continuous integration, comes in after the developer pushes their code into this version control system. That's this GitHub. Let me use that word, GitHub. At least we now know what a version control system is. So, like the GitHub, where you store code. So they pushes it to that GitHub where they store code, because and then it's a shared with GitHub. You have a shared repository. What do I mean by shared repository? It's just like Godwin and Israel can actually have access to that repository to push their code into that particular repository. So now when they push those particular codes to GitHub, now what happens? Those codes are now stored into the repository. They are not yet pushed into the production server. Now, don't get it wrong. GitHub is not your server. It's just where you store your code. Now, continuous integrations happens when, oh, I push a particular code and the testers testing. Now this is not the manual part that was happening. I'll now show you where the DevOps came in and then automate it and call it continuous integration. The manual part is that the testers comes in, pick up those code and start testing those code and find error, and then they have to manually tell the developer to now pick it up and then put it back again. So it was a whole lot of mess. So now continuous integration comes in, whereby there's now an automatic process whereby when developers make changes to those code, automatically a build is being run, a test is being run before even the testers have to test. A build is being run, a test is being run, making sure that it satisfies the particular requirement. Like I told you, operations is always strict. You see where he's coming in. I explained last week that operations they are not an agile people. They are more of a strict process when it comes to operations. But when it comes to developers are working on an agile process. For those that was not in my last class, I will explain again the difference between agile and strict process. No, we talked about the waterfall process last week. So we talked about the waterfall process as a process whereby you are strictly following the process. That's the LZLC the software development life cycle in a sequential order. But when it comes to the agile method, we are now splitting them into smaller components. Those processes are now split into smaller components. Like for example, you are building an e-commerce site. You can say, okay, the first part, sign up and log in, the authentication flow is we should do it in the first sprint. So they are split into smaller components or into sprints. You can call it into sprints. So sub sprints, unlike the waterfall process, which is the normal strict process. Like when it comes to operation, they're always strict. Unlike the waterfall, because there are several methods when it comes to software development processes. People that are going to be doing that more is more of the product managers that are going into the technical parts. But what you just need to understand as a DevOps engineer is more of the agile and the strict process. So you need to understand that, okay, the operations is a strict, and then the developers are working on the agile process, means that they will always change. Meaning that, for example, if I'm working on this particular sprint and maybe there's a change by the customer or user, of course, developers pick those changes, add it to the next sprint, and then they work on that next sprint. It iterates. So agile process allow for iterations. There is always room for iterations when you're going on an agile method. Now, how does this relate to continuous integration? Well, no, you're not installing any stuff now. We'll let you know when you're installing stuff. So now, how does this relate to, because we have 2 hours to go. Today class is not like the 1 hour class, it's going to span actually 2 hours. So due to we missed our last class. I was supposed to touch this actually during our last class. I'm just trying to cover that. So, like I said, it is not, we're going to go into CI/CD proper, but we need to understand the introduction for us to understand the tools we're actually installing and what they are for. It's not just all about oh, I install this, I install that. So sometimes we need to know what those tools actually functions for. So I'm gonna go back again. CI/CD. So now, how does this relate to continuous integration when it comes to the software development processes? Like I said, you push your code to your GitHub, which is where you store your code, and then what happens? Automatic tests is run. So a build process is also run. An example of that, for some of us that have some dev experience, a very clear, simple example is you pushing or trying to push a Vercel. Now you notice that if you push a specific code, and the next thing it tells you, oh, there's an error. Either maybe you missed, there's an error with that code, or maybe there's something that is missing, or there's a file that is not being referenced where, and the server it saves it back to you. That's CI, continuous integration, the ability for developers to make changes and you automatically run tests or run builds and send it back to them. If there's an error, you get as the error is the feedback. If there's an error, you give them feedback, they work on that feedback, they make those changes, they push it again to the repository until the server, until the repository is able to, as the GitHub, the version control system is able to build. So if that code passes all the tests and builds, oh, then it's okay. That's the whole continuous integration. Now, where does continuous development now comes? Now, where the continuous integration stops, that's where the continuous development continues. Now, continuous development now deals with the server. I don't know if you are with me. I'm going to come again. Now, like I said, the continuous integration is the ability of automating the process on how developers or how software developers pushes code to the version control system. That's the central hub, which is your GitHub. Now you run your automatically running a test. The test builds. If there's an error, you send the feedback back to the developer. The developer work on that error and then sends it back to the repository again. And the repository, you run on that build. So it's an automatic process until the requirement that you've placed there is satisfied. I'm now speaking as you as a DevOps engineer. So it is now your duty to do those automation. Now, when they not satisfy those requirements, automatically it builds. Okay, yes, it builds. Now they've satisfied those particular requirements. Fine. Now, what's the next step for us to now see it in the server, which is now the continuous development? Which is now the continuous development. Give me a minute. Okay. So, which is now the continuous development? Now, what does continuous development now mean? Now every code that passes the CI, every code that passes that, when I mean CI, when you hear me call CI, of course you should understand I'm talking about continuous integration. Now every code that passes the CI test is automatically deployed to production. That is automatically deployed to the production server without any manual step. That's another automation. Now, what happens is that, okay, oh, the code has already arrived at the repository, it builds and everything. Now, there's another script again, now, continuous development, now pushing to the server for the end user to now be able to see that e-commerce site automatically without them going through those rigorous processes or those manual processes of, oh, testers comes in, they're of course your testers need to test your QA testers. Now, what happens is that at that point, at continuous development, your testers now write script like, for example, your testers write scripts in which those scripts test that particular build to ensure that it satisfies the requirements of what the server is expecting. You can see the strict processes in operations. That's why I always advise that you don't miss my class. It's very important because I always reference the former class. Because everything is, like I said, my classes are like Lego. We are building the bridge till we get the top. So we are building those blocks right now. So now you could see those strict process. So continuous development now, after your CI is satisfied, those tests are satisfied from your CI. Now the ability to push those codes from your repository or the way your code is stored to the server, that's the production without any manual engagement is not continuous development, which is where your testers comes in to now write their test scripts that satisfies what the server requirement is and what the code builds. If they match, yes, it pushes it to production and every user is good. And remember I told you about versioning. That is where versioning comes in. Version 1, version 2, version 3. So whatever you push to the server, whatever build, whatever works well, so that whenever there's a hiccup with the current version, you can actually revert quickly to the last version. I'm going to come to that. Let me not bore you guys. So we're going to come to that. So that's for continuous integration and continuous development. Now, tools that we use for continuous integration and continuous development are a lot. Now we're looking at tools like Jenkins. We'll look at Circle CI. I'm going to look at Bamboo CI. So these are tools that we use for CI/CD and stuff like that. And I'm going to be setting up some of these tools. Like I said, as we go on, we're still going to be installing more tools. But I don't want us to boss with so many things. Today, like I said, today is just going to be purely for setup. And I want to ensure that everybody's set up right. So the first thing that I want us to set up, so we're going to be doing three things. We're going to be looking at the tools we're going to be setting up today. And we're going to be looking at some of the platform we're going to be signing up. So signing up on GitHub, we're going to be getting a domain. Yes, everybody will need to get a domain. Don't worry, it's not the most expensive one. Because you're going to need it actually for the class. We're going to look at how to get a domain. So we're going to be getting more of a .xyz domain. It's not cost up to 2,000 or 1,000 something. So that won't cost much. So we're going to be looking at Docker Hub, so for containerization, for where we're going to be containerizing our images. So we're going to be looking at Sonar Cloud. We're going to look at AWS. AWS is not going to be today because that's going to be a very long class. In fact, that will be the first introduction for our Saturday class. So that's why I say we're going to be doing more so because it's going to be a long process. I'm going to be setting up our cloud account, our free tier, setting up our certification. From the certification, we're going to be setting up I am with MFE. We're going to be setting up our billing alarm. Also going to be doing our certification setup. Okay, I've spoken about that. That's for your SSL. So the SSL for some of us that might be hearing it for the first time is secure socket layer. That's the meaning of SSL. The thing you always see on your website that shows HTTPS. So hypertext transfer protocol secured is based on this particular site has its certification, which we call a secure socket layer. So that satisfies them to you to able to transfer data to an hypertext transfer protocol secured. So we're going to be looking at also some of those tools today. Also we're going to be installing some of those tools. We're going to be installing the Oracle VirtualBox. Yeah, we're going to be installing the Oracle Virtual. So in case some of us are already seen on the screen there, we're going to be installing Git Bash, Vagrant, Chocolatey, or Brew if you're using a Mac. We're going to be installing JDK8, Marvin, okay, why not need IntelliJ? So for those that like IntelliJ, for me, I love IntelliJ when it comes to my DevOps operation. I do just use VS Code when it comes to my code. I don't know, it's weird, but it's just my own thing though. So I'll just say we just set up VS Code. I think most people are familiar with that, so we just set up VS Code. So we're going to be installing AWS CLI. So to sign up AWS and stuff like that. So let's like I said, AWS, we're going to be looking at it on Saturday. It's going to be long down. It's very long. It's going to be. I don't want the situation that I'm rushing everything and we're not catching up to speed. So we're just going to work on the tools and some of the sign up today. Okay, let's get right into it. So the first thing we want to install now is Chocolatey. Chocolatey. Okay. Um, is anybody using a Mac? I'm asking that again one more time. Okay. Nobody. Okay. So
Is anybody
just gonna
using?
start
Come again.
a MacBook.
No.
Okay. So I'm just going to quickly explain for Mac, then I'll just go back to. So for Mac guys, and like I'm currently using a Mac. So for Mac guys, what you just want to do, in case why am I explaining this? In case you have an opportunity, you don't know the work sector you might be. So all you just need to do is just open your terminal. Then I'm going to actually share with my Windows. I'm trying to turn that up now. For Mac guys, what you want to do, you want to actually install Homebrew. So using your terminal, that's for the Mac guys. The installation process is always there, but for the Windows guys, we're going to be using Chocolatey. Chocolatey. So give me a minute. Since there's nobody, I don't want to waste time on the Mac since there's no one using the Mac. So I'm just going to quickly join in with my
Sorry, please.
Windows.
Yeah,
And we'll pick it up from there. I can hear you.
yeah, I use a Mac. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself when you were asking.
Ah, okay, McDonald, you could speak up.
Yeah, I use a Mac as well.
Oh, okay. So let's get to the Mac guys then. Then we come back, or do we go to the Windows and come? Okay, let's get to the Mac guys since we're already in Mac. So, and for Mac guys, what you want to search for? You want to search for Homebrew. So this is Homebrew, yeah. The first stuff you see here. And give me a minute. Let me just quickly let me be able to share my camera. Hope the Mac guys are with me.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
So like give me a minute. What's wrong with this thing? Okay. Okay, so you want to click on installation or you just click on Homebrew and anyone works? You want to scroll down? Hope everybody's having seen the same thing I have. Yeah. Is everybody seeing my screen? Is everybody seeing my screen?
Yes, I'm seeing
Okay.
it.
Okay, everyone's seeing my screen. Perfect. So are you using an M1 or an M2 chip is quite necessary because I stated it here though. I'm going to still upload this PDF to your portal. So because if we're installing VirtualBox, it's not going to work for M1 guys and M2 guys. So I need to confirm that. Anybody using an M1 or an M2?
I'm using an M1.
Okay. I don't want this thing to be too long, so you might have to book. I will chat up or I'll send a message. I think I sent a message on the DevOps, so you just have to just private message me. So I'll just assist you with your own M1.
Okay, so
You
I think I already have that figured out. I have VMware and
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that should be a substitute for um VirtualBox.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think yours is good then. So that means you already have homebrew, of course. If you guys have homebrew, so I'll just go over to the window, guys. There's no need of me just taking my time here. I need answers from the two guys that say they have Mac. If you have homebrew
In
already,
case you can still continue with this for the sake of those people that are not in class now, that might actually want to like watch the replay.
there are actually 18 students in this course. So any other person that is joining the course, I don't know the person.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason is that we have a lot to install, so we have I have like limited time because I have a meeting in the next 1 hour 30 minutes. So I'm just trying to ensure that I catch up with everything I need to get done today. Oh, okay. So the Mac guys have an homebrew. So let me just quickly just go to the window guys there. Give me a minute for me to join. So I don't want us to take too long, but I already have homebrew on my system. Okay. Switch here. Okay, I'm back here. So let's get into the window, guys. So give me a minute. Okay, so for the window, guys, you want to search for chocolatey. Let me just go according to the environment. So you want to go to chocolatey. This should be the first page you see, the home page for the window, guys. Then you come down to install. Are you guys with me?
Yes,
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. Okay, so you want to go down to install, and then you want to come down to the all the way down. Is this place? Yeah, you want to scroll down to here. So you want to get this first code first. Hope everybody is with me. Run sets. You want to get to this line. Run get executional policy. Or so if you are in this line, you want to let me share my full screen so that you can see my terminal. Give me a minute.
Please, I'm
Okay.
lost. I click on get started. I'm seeing something else.
I didn't say you should click on get started. I say click on install. Click on install.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's get right into it. So what you want to do, you want to search for when you are at this point, you want to search for your PowerShell, window PowerShell. So you want to search for your window PowerShell, and you
Sorry,
want to run
I've
it
not,
as an. Can you see my screen?
sorry, I've not seen install on my own.
Please confirm if you are actually on this link, or let me just paste the link so that everybody is also on the same page.
I'm on the link chocolate.org.
Slash install. So just click this link and paste it right now. So are you on the page right now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
So
I'm on it. It's
let's just
showing me installing Chocolate. Step 1. Subscribe to the Chocolate newsletter.
like I say, scroll down, please, to where you have get run execution. So please, you want to run your PowerShell as an administrator. You want to right click and run as an administrator. You want to click on yes. So you should have this on your screen. And the next thing you want to do is to get this. I think I already have chocolate though. So you want to get this. Is this. Confirm if you have remote signed. If you have remote sign, you are good to go. If you have restricted, then your antivirus or something is up. So you want to
Yeah,
turn
right
it
now.
off.
I have restricted.
So go and turn off your antivirus. Just turn it off for like 15 or 15 minutes or something. Or just run this. So run sets all circulate policy all assigned. So or you run bypass process. So you want to run any of them. And please turn off your antivirus also, because if you don't turn it off when you're running this, you're also going to get another error. So if you have an antivirus, just turn it off. So you should get policy changed. Just click yes or no. Already I don't have restricted, so I don't want to actually run this command.
Please,
So
I'm lost, like totally lost.
why are you lost, please?
I mean,
Ah,
I click on the install page and I don't know where else to install it again. Like just like you said.
Okay.
this okay.
When
Finish
you
without
click on it,
this.
yeah, when you click on the install page, you are down here installing chocolate. Please just scroll down where you have
Okay.
choose your installation method. Now come down. Install chocolate for individual use. Chocolate for individual use. You want to scroll down to this part. After the notes, you have
Okay.
this.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. For now, like I said, we're just installing two. We're going to understand all these things one by one. So let's just install our choose them, start getting into them one by one. Oh shit! I've closed down my Windows.
So I'm lost. And this is where I'm lost. This is where I am. Will I click on the get execution policy?
I did not say you should click on get the execution. Can you see my screen? Please, everybody should just return back to the presentation screen so that you could actually see what I'm doing. It's easier. Now, when as everyone run their Windows PowerShell as an administrator. Let me go again and run it so everybody doesn't get lost.
I'm
Click on the
currently
search.
at the Windows PowerShell administrator.
Yes. Right click and run as an administrator. Click
Okay.
yes to run as administrator.
But I'm not seeing this thing on your screen. Install the PowerShell for the. It's not in my own.
You don't need is your PowerShell opening? That's the main thing.
Yes, it is open.
Okay. Yes, yeah, you're good. Is everybody good from here? Okay. And then let's just copy, please. So just copy this. I just want to confirm that if you have restricted on yours, you want to use this. So just paste this. You copy this. This sets execution policy. Set execution policy. So just copy and click your enter button. Now, if you have remote signed, you are good. If you have restricted, please use the other command line. This is what we call command line. This use this set executional policy all signed. So you want to use that and then click yes. Please, does everyone understand that before I go to the next part?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now the next thing we want to do is to now install Chocolatey. All you just have to do is just copy. There's a copy button here. Click on it, copy it, and then just come down here and then you paste it. So then you click enter. Once you paste, you click enter. Is yours installing? Is everybody else installing? Please, if you encounter an error, let me know. I already have mine, so there's no need of me clicking enter. Give me a minute. Please, are we good? I need to move on to the next part. Is I'm asking is ours installing?
Mine is not installed.
Yours is not installing. Is it possible for you to just screenshot the error or copy the how do I put it?
Yeah, so this is what I saw mine. I just sent it in chat.
Okay, just send it via chat. You already have for this person. Who is this person? Pascal. As an existing chocolate installation was detected, installation will not continue. This script will not override if there is no chocolate. So you already have chocolate already installed on yours for Pascal. Okay, I just say mine is installing. So that's why it's giving you this popping up the error. So what you just want to do is either you just update your chocolate. I'm going to give you what to use now to update. Give me a minute. That's why I didn't install for mine because I know I have. So if you already have chocolate, you don't need to install it twice again. So it's only for those that doesn't have at all. Now I'm going to be sharing this PDF to the group right now. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So we can start installing after our chocolate has installed. Trying to share it. I can't get. Hold on. So I have to send this thing through email. Don't know on my WhatsApp. Don't really know. Give me a minute. So I want to send us the command, so it's easy for you guys to just copy and install. Then for the Mac guys, so I'm going to also send us the command also for you guys to copy. Give me a minute. Trying to send it via email.
Yeah, sorry, we can update to the latest calculated version, right?
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
So we can update to the latest.
Yeah, you can update.
calculated
You can update. Yeah. Minutes. Trying to get the command. Just give me a minute. Trying to get it from the email.
Well, for me, I
Mhm.
just hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I just watched a YouTube video now. So it was actually giving me like how to install it on my own Windows 10. So it's telling me to go and search for Windows PowerShell, then click on it, then do some things on it. So I'm actually following the procedure to try to install it on my system.
It's the same thing I just said. I said everybody should open their Windows PowerShell, run it as an administrator, and then go to chocolatey.org. The link is on the chat. Just click on the install and then copy that particular installation link. First of all, you want to ensure that yours is showing all signed policy, that your execution policy is all signed. So, and then the next thing, you copy the code below it and then you paste it and then you just allow it to install. Or you just have to just click is yes whenever they ask you.
So my own is showing unrestricted.
Unrestricted. Okay, give me a minute, please. It's showing unrestricted or restricted.
Unrestricted. Unrestricted.
Okay. Mhm. And just give me a minute. Let me share this. I'll get some use now. I just want to share this to the WhatsApp. Mhm. Mhm. Minutes. Okay, so I think I've seen what I need to say. So where did you what did you type for your showing unrestricted?
I just ran the first command, which is the get execution policy.
Okay, run the second one, please.
Okay.
Not the dev execution policy, the one that has set execution policy all signed. Tell me what it gives you.
Okay, it came out education policy change. So I should do yes to all, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I nothing happened when I said yes to all. Um, do I run it again?
Is it showing your windows? Is it back to your home screen, or is just still loading? Is it back to your home screen where you
It's
have your windows?
yes, it is back there, but it's blinking.
Okay, now yeah, you've already signed that. So what you want to do now is copy get execution policy again, run it again, run the get execution policy again.
All signed, yeah.
All signed.
Yeah, it's all signed.
Okay, then you can install. Okay, is everybody good so that we can move on? So I'm just going to share my screen back. Okay, I think everybody's good. So let's move on. I'm just going to share my entire screen because we're going to be using the terminal right now. So give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Please, when I type that get execution, it's showing me restricted.
Is this a new
PSC
person?
Windows.
Okay, I think you did the same thing that did to me, that happened to you. The same thing happened to me. So you just run the second command, which is
Oh,
the set acquisition policy all signed. I think that should sort that and off your antivirus.
I show off my antivirus.
Yes,
yes.
off your
Yeah.
antivirus.
Okay. So share my entire screen. So I believe everybody has their Choco installed. Please confirm if you can see my terminal because I'm on full screen right now. So I just want us to confirm if you could see my terminal. Am I
Yeah, we
seeing
can
thumbs
see
up?
it.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Okay. So practically, if you've installed Choco, just confirm that Choco is properly installed. If yours is done by doing Choco, that's chocolatey, doing Choco dash dash. Like I said, we're going to learn on this command version. So just to confirm that you have Choco installed. So for me, I have already 2.4.3 installed. So if you're at this stage, you are good for us to get to the next stage. If you're at this stage, you are good for us to get to the next stage. Is everybody good? Okay, let me see if I can join in. Okay, for the Mac users. Let me see how do I do this? Okay, what I'm going to do, I think what I might do after the class, since we have a lot of windows, I will just do a short recording of for the Mac users, maybe how to install the homebrew and everything. I'll just do a short recording, and then I'll also upload those videos to our lessons. So I think that will assist. Whatever I do here, I'll also whatever command I carry out here, I also carry it on the Mac. In fact, I use more of the Mac. Oh, I actually wanted to use more of the Mac, but since we have a lot of windows, let me just accommodate the majority. Okay. Okay, I believe everyone is good. So we can start running our command. Is everybody good, please? So I just go on. So it's very straightforward. So once you get it installed, you should have Choco version. That means you're good to go. So let's start installing what we need. So I want everybody to be on the same page with me. So we're going to be starting with our toolbox, like our VirtualBox and Git bash and the rest. So we're going to start with. So what you just want to do, you want to just copy this. Just you see where I copy mine. Just copy. Like I said, I'm going to explain everything to us, so don't worry. You just paste and you click yes. When you are done with that, whatever they ask you, yes, yes, I already have this, so I don't. So when you are done with that, you copy the next one, you click yes. When you are done with that, copy the next one, you click yes. So I'm going to give the next 12 minutes for us to install. And if you have any issues, just let me know. Then we'll pick it up from there. So I think the document is on our WhatsApp right now, which I'm still going to upload to our portal. But since we're currently on the class, everybody could access the documents in the WhatsApp group. So then we'll pick it up from there. I just sent it to the WhatsApp right now. Okay. This is okay. By 7:15, I believe everybody should be done installing all this. For the Mac guys,
Sorry, before you listen. So where we are running the command, we copy everything with the version, or because I just for the function I just did Choco install VirtualBox. Is that fine?
but I didn't hear you. I didn't get you.
I said for the first one, I just did Choco install VirtualBox. Is that fine? Or have to put the version?
Yeah, that's fine though. But why I always place the version so that when I'm teaching, you can actually get the same thing I'm actually getting. So
Okay.
it doesn't. That's why I just want to ensure that everybody is using the same version. Then we cannot look because as for now, some of those start having a lot of
Okay.
things. So when we've gone far, I know that you guys have at least get to go far, and we cannot start doing upgrades all our stuff and start learning the modern ways. But for now, let's give me a minute. Okay. Okay, so I believe we can be getting on that. So after that, after we've installed these tools, well, I will show you how to confirm that you've installed them, and then we'll move on from there. So I'll just, like I said, I'm going to give us the next 6 minutes. Right now, the next 5 minutes, let everybody get what they need to get it installed, and then we'll build it up from there. So I'm giving us the next 5 minutes. If you have any issues, I'm here. We'll sort it out. And then, like I say, we're installing tools today, and then we're signing up on platforms that we are going to be using, because from Saturday and Sunday is going to be a long class, because I'm eager to drop my assignments. So, okay, Ayo, you can speak up.
Oh, sorry. Good evening. A quick one, please. So I noticed that the Choco install VirtualBox, I don't know, is it similar to the regular VirtualBox, Oracle VirtualBox? Because if that is, I already have that installed prior to now. Will that not cause a conflict?
Okay, do you have a virtual box already installed on for yours?
Yes, so I have Vagrant installed on my system before. I have VirtualBox installed on my system before. I have Git Bash installed on my system before. Likewise, Maven. And yeah, specifically those ones. I just want to be sure that it's the same
If you have
process.
if you have these already installed on your system, you don't need to install it again. So you want to select the specific one you don't have.
All right. Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Okay. Hint, please, the IntelliJ is not a must. So you could just do with the VS Code if you have VS Code already. So the IntelliJ is just for those that maybe like IntelliJ ID or something. So it's not compulsory, please. So if you are very comfortable with VS, please just get on the VS and leave the IntelliJ. Okay, I'll allow us get on that. Any whatever issues we have, I'm here to help you out. I'm also on the group chat right now. So whatever issues you have, I'm also available. You go also directly DM me, please. I will not take calls. Actually, just DM. It's fine. If it's something that's during our class sessions, if it's something that we need to schedule a call, we just schedule a call and jump on Google Meet. So we just get on it. So I want us to move on. I don't want to push anything to Saturday, because earlier what I want to cover on Saturday. So the installation is just a clean process. I want us to move on to signing up on platforms. So for those who, give me a minute, let me share back my screen. I believe most of us must have GitHub, because I could see some of us already technically inclined. So
Sorry,
some of us.
are we going to use VS Code and Sublime Text, or we should just pick one?
No, just pick one. and they are all
Okay, same thing
IDs.
with either
Yes, yes,
IntelliGI
yes.
and Visual Code or something like that, right? Or we should install the three.
Yes, they are. Yes, just pick one. I just gave those options based on some people might be familiar with any of them. So
Okay.
whatever you feel like you're comfortable, pick one. Okay, so let's move down. So for our sign up processes, why whatever we are installing continues getting installed. If you have any issues, call my attention. Just raise up your hands. I'll get on it. So we could just come back to the meeting screen and then just follow the whole process. So for those who has GitHub, perfect. If you don't have a GitHub, please let's sign up on GitHub. Create your first account on GitHub. Okay, somebody is raising up his hand. You could speak, please. Aya, you could speak. Angela, you could speak also. Or whoever goes first. You guys are not speaking up because hello, no one can hear you because you are muted. Okay, Aya is speaking right now.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that I didn't drop my hand earlier. But yes, a quick question. Sorry. I think the only thing I might be installing here is the corrector. I just noticed that I do have every other one in my system. Should I still proceed with that as well as the AWS CLI?
Whatever if you have those ones already in your system, there's no need of you installing it again. Just pick the ones you don't have.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Angela, you could speak up.
Okay, sincerely speaking, I don't know if it is my system or anything. That's I'm still stuck on that this thing. PowerShell is not pasting. Like the command I copied is not pasting. I can always DM you when I figure it out later, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. I just take my time.
Okay, just take your time, take your time. You don't need to be in a hurry. If you can't figure it out, just DM me. If it's something that we both need to schedule a meeting, we schedule a meeting. Then I just look at what you actually seen and then I put you through. So everybody is something I'll carry everybody along. So just take your time. So let's just focus back to and getting our accounts ready. So if you don't have a GitHub account, let's create a GitHub account. It's a very simple process, just like how you sign up on a platform. You want to sign up, click on sign up, and place your email, your password, the username you like to use, your country, and then you get an email verification. You verify your email. Voila, perfect. You're good. So I don't want to start signing up, double sign up because I already have one account already. So, but if you have issues with your sign up, let me know. I think the one I'm going to go through for everyone is the Docker Hub, the Sonar Cloud, and the domain. So for GitHub, it should be pretty straightforward. I'll just create a dummy account. So let me just carry everybody along. So currently creating an account. I'll just call this password maybe compromised. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna call this leap career. Leap school. Is an underscore DevOps. Then country Nigeria. Then I just click on him. Okay, underscore. Okay. Yeah, I didn't spell that correctly. DevOps. So I'll just create that and then just click on continue. Just save that. So I just click on visual puzzle. All you just have to do is just match. So find the image that's the price on the left held or by the claw is the mentioned on the right. So you just want to get this. Need to find that image. Interesting. Okay. Yep. Okay. Submit. One done. So you just confirm your email. So I can get my confirmation code. This is for those that doesn't have a GitHub account. If you have a GitHub account, you don't need to start doing this. So I need to come down here, paste. Then tells me to sign in and sign in. Perfect. I now have a GitHub account. So hooray, everybody has a GitHub account. So first process is done and dusted. So it's as simple as, like I say, it's a very simple process. It's as simple as that. Then we can look at it when we get to version control properly. When we start learning command line tools and Linux commands, we're going to come back to explore everything about this whole GitHub and stuff like that. How to automate script. So you put your CI/CD. So this is a repository. When I talked about introduction to the CI/CD, I told you about the version control system, a centralized location to store code, example, GitHub Bitbucket. So this is just one of many. GitHub, which is the most popular one every developer uses in the modern age now. Few companies use Bitbuckets, and Bitbucket is I think they are in partner with Jira also. So and I'll just give you guys a helper tutorial on how the Bitbucket works, because sometimes I've actually worked in I think it's more than 5 companies that they had to use Bitbucket over GitHub due to some company likes privacy. I don't know. I don't know what the hell why, but it is what it is. So it's always better that you just get familiar with other version control system. So most popular ones, Bitbucket and GitHub. And they are easily integratable. Like if you have a GitHub account, you can always also push to a Bitbucket, so they integrate with each other. Anyways, so give me a minute. Sorry. Okay, so I believe everybody is good. Everybody has is someone's raising up his hands. Okay, Angela, do you still have a question or okay? I think it's from the past one. Okay, you might want to pull the hands down so I just know when someone raises up his hands. Okay, Angela, you have a question. Just speak up.
No, it was a mistake. Sorry, you can go on.
Okay, so that's for GitHub. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. So, and the next one I want to get on is Docker Hub. So let's get on Docker Hub. So just open a new tab. In a minute, open a new tab to the right, and then share this tab. So you want to search for Docker Hub. So this is where containerization. Search for Docker Hub. You want to go towards this hub.docker, the one that has hub.docker.com. Click on it. So by Saturday, we're going to be learning more on how this tools works. So click on it. And it's still loading. Okay, so this is Docker Hub. What you want to do? You want to sign up? So you want to sign up on Docker Hub. Why is loading? So let's just wait. Mine is still loading.
Are we to sign up with personal email?
Yes, please click on personal. Go on
All right.
personal. Yeah. Okay, everybody's seeing it. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly put this username. I will use the same username. Leave school. Gosh. Use for the get letters and delete only. Okay, I'll just leave credentials. Yeah. Passport. Or you can just sign up with your Gmail. So anyone works. It's still loading. Okay. Just save that. Or make it easy. There's no need of me even stressing myself. Just sign up with your GitHub. What's happening? I'm having an error already. I'm expecting an error already. Network. But this code was the country again. Transaction error. Continue. Okay. Doctor's already signed me up. So they send you an email. Just check your email account. There's an email there for you to verify. Click on the email link to verify. And hi there. It's currently you should be good. I'm back here. So once you've done your Docker account, I don't know, my internet is quite slow. So email verification successful. So sign in with my credentials. So I can now sign in with my credentials. So the next thing we want to look at is Sonar Cloud. For Sonar Cloud, we want to just get on it here. Once you sign up on Docker, that's it. So we're going to be using that for synchronizing our images. No one will hear images, we might think it's the normal image we're talking about. But don't worry.
Are
Share
we
to
to
know.
also sign up on Sonar Cloud?
Yes, you have to sign up on Solar Cloud. So Solar Cloud.
Sonar Cloud.
Let me just share my tab so you can see it. Look at it. Sonar Cloud. SONACLUD. Sonar Cloud. So you want to go for sonarcloud.io. The one that has sonarcloud.io. So you want to click on the one that has sonarcloud.io.
Your screen is not shaking or it's still on the authenticator error.
Interesting. Let me I think it's my network.
Please, the Sonar
What's
Cloud on your screen.
let
I
me
think the
just
solar cloud is SONARCLOUD.
SONAR. Let me just paste the link. Sorry, yeah, I'll just paste the
So are
link
we
on the
are we
group.
are we signing up with GitHub?
Yeah, I didn't hear you, sorry.
Are we signing up with GitHub?
Yeah, sign up with GitHub, please.
Okay.
So I've just pasted the link on the chat. I don't know, my network is just going off and on. I won't stop sharing. It's still sharing yet. Okay. Let me just share again. Okay, so it's back. So if you are done with your Docker, you should be on this page. So let me just be sure that everybody has arrived. So if you've done your verification, you should have this page. So if you have this page, you are good. So we'll continue from there. So once you have this page, your account is ready, you are good. So then we're going to share this tab back. So now this is now Sonar Cloud. So if you click on the link, it should be on sonarcloud.io/login. So sonarcloud.io, like I placed the link on the group chat, so just on the Meet call chat. So you just click on GitHub. Sorry. And then just click on authorize. You should be seeing something like no project or something on your Sonar Cloud dashboard, something like no project. If you are saying that, you are good. So if you are saying that, if you were able to sign in properly with your GitHub and you are seeing no project or something, you are good. So your Sonar Cloud account is already ready. So the next thing I want to look at is now domain. So how we get domain. So for domaining, I'm going to be making use of Namecheap. So give me a minute. I'm going to share that to us now. Yeah, we're going to need a domain, except you want to be working with the IP address. But I will still advise that you still get a domain because there's a lot of things we're going to be using a domain to work with. So for you to be able to follow through the class, our advice you just get a domain. And we're not going to be getting an expensive domain anyways. We're not getting a .com because it's just for our own dev purposes. So in a minute. I don't know why this thing is taking so long. Which is it connected to?
For the solar cloud, are we importing an organization?
You're not importing an organization, no. Just sign up. If it shows you there's no projects, like no project imported yet, you are good. Just leave the account that way. You are good. Okay, let me come back to the Sonar Cloud since mine has shown up. So now you'll be having important. Okay, this is what you don't import any organization. You are good like this. You have my project, my issues. It means you have an account, so you are good. Nothing more. Don't do anything else. When we're going to come back here. So then let's be back here. Share this. So, mm, so I
Sorry,
believe.
sorry. Can we pay? Are we going to pay with Naira card?
Mm, no, I'm not sure you could pay with Naira cards, but you have to pay with dollar card.
Can we buy from? Is it possible we can buy from?
Yeah, I can't hear you properly.
Can we buy from?
Sorry, I can barely
I
hear
don't
you
go 50.
actually.
I don't go 54. We can pay with Naira. Can we buy from go 50?
Is it just from me or something? Like I don't know if you leave the meeting and join back because I can't hear you properly. It's as if the your voice is scrambled.
He's trying to say that if we can use most of these things that you can pay in naira, like Hugo Host, True Host, because this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yes. You could use anyone. You could use anyone. Anyone works. You just wait to have your domain. That's just the main thing. Anyone works. So it seems like everybody understands the meaning. So, but what I just want to show us is just you don't need to even get an expensive domain. I can decide to say the domain I want to get now is Lip School. If that's available on Google's, that's fine. So you don't need to spend much. Lip School DevOps dot XYZ or dot one. Either dot XYZ dot one, anyone works. So I think these are the cheapest options. So you could see .com is quite expensive. You could even use .shop, $0.98. It's not up to $1 to pick that. So it's not something that we're going to be using to the public or something. So that XYZ is just $1. That's why I always go for it. So it's just $1, or you just go for .shop. So whichever one, since we all have an idea of how to buy domain, so I don't need to go deep into it. Or is there anybody that doesn't know how to get a domain?
Sorry, is there a possibility that
Go into
we
it,
need
oh,
domain?
please.
Exactly. Is there a possibility that we'll be needing this domain after what? After the training?
No, that's why I say it's just your own test environment. So the domain is going to span for 1 year. So after the training, after the 6 months, you could still be using it, because one thing about tech is that tech is not something that you just do and just leave and just go and sit down and just feel like, oh, I know it all. No, it's a continuous learning. Every day, new things comes in, so you can always be using the domain as your test environment. To do new things. Like me, for me now, most times, whenever I'm managing a company server, before I even carry out any script, any operations, what I do is that I carry it out on my own personal server first and ensure that okay, it works well, whatever I need to do then before I move it to the organization server or before I do anything I've done in my personal server to the organization server. So it's your stuff, it's your personal stuff. You could always be using it. Are you?
But if you're getting a cheap domain, are there not going to be restrictions moving forward?
I don't get you.
The Obviously there are differences in the prices of the domain here.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
The cheaper ones might have less what's it called? They might have less function or something than the expensive one. That's what I'm saying, that are there not going to be restrictions since we'll still be using it to practice even after the training?
There's not going to be restrictions. Domain is domain. Domain is just an address to an IP. So instead of someone maybe accessing your server with 129, 12, cramming all those things, you just link it up to a domain that you just quickly can access your server do what you need to do in your CL and stuff like that. So domain is domain. It doesn't, and then it's just your personal stuff you are using to access. Instead of you accessing your server with the IP address, you just access it with your domain.
If you're
Uh,
using Naira, I'm seeing 500 Naira in Hugo Hosts. You can check it out for a year.
But yeah, for XYZ, so everybody could use Google's. So I
No,
think
not
that's some
XYZ. Not
people.
XYZ.
So
I think this
which
link, this
I
one,
wish,
this one on
okay.
your system is okay.
okay,
It's for people that don't have dollar account.
you
Oh
can use a
yes,
dollar.
and that one can be an alternative. The one you said for people that don't have dollar accounts.
Okay, yeah, that can be an alternative. Like I said, domain is domain. As far you could actually link up your DNS, and every domain has a DNS link to it, so you could perform everything you need to perform, connect your certificate. Because we're going to be connecting our AWS certification. That's the essence of we getting this domain. Like I said, by Saturday, sorry, we're going to be focusing more on AWS.
Hmm.
Yeah, AWS alone is its own class. And it's not like we're taking everything AWS that Saturday. Like, thank God we have our curriculum on our portal. We're only just getting to the intro, like setting up our accounts. So we're not getting to the cloud part of it. So, and then we'll push on from there.
Please, is this just an example, like to buy a domain, or we must use the Lip School DevOps?
No, this is just an example. You could use your own.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. I get it.
yeah. So, because if I buy
Oh,
this
this
now,
thing. Wait,
not be available.
this thing on your screen is not actually real.
No, like this Lip School
And
DevOps.
this lips.
No, it's just my own choice of domain. Okay, when it comes to domain name, whatever you choose, for example, it can be Kayali. The domain name is just like your name, and nobody can have two names like the same name. Yes, I know that we can have two names, but let's just bring it down to nobody can have the same name. Just imagine it that way. If I buy this Live School DevOps.xyz, automatically it will not be available for anybody. For example, Live, if I search for Kayali Africa, because somebody has bought it, is not going to be available. Kayalipaprika.com. And let's see what pops up. Any domain registrar you want to go, you're going to tell you taking.
Okay, the domain. You are the one that will give its name.
Yes, you give it the name you decide.
Oh,
But I'm
wow.
saying go for .xyz because it's cheaper.
Okay,
You
we
don't need
should
to
we should use
for
.xyz.
it's
XYZ.
cheaper. Yeah, .xyz.
Okay.
If you are using Namecheap, if you are using Google, you can go for that. There are other cheaper options. But you want to look at, we call this the dots, the .com, .xyz, .org, we call them TLDs. So you want to go for the cheaper TLDs. .com is why
Okay.
quite, there's no essence of me wasting about 20 something thousand naira on just something I want to do for class. So it's better I will just go for .xyz, $1, 1,500 or 1,600. So I think that's clear. Any question? We've done most of the installation. Anybody that have issues with their own installation, just DM me. I'll schedule a time whereby we meet. I check at the installation and ensure that you are good to go for Saturday class, because Saturday class is going to be of the most. Let me speak about my grand pastors. They say it's going to be power. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, no questions so far. That means everybody is clear.
Um,
Please. Okay. I can hear you, Moji.
sorry. What's your name on the group?
Okay, I'm Jeremiah. I think I introduced myself on the first day. I'm Jeremiah, but I texted. Have I texted on that group chat? Let me just be sure. Give me a minute. I'm going to send the message now so everybody can actually know who I am. I'm going to pin the message so you could just know that that's my number. Just you could always private DM me.
Please,
Thanks.
can this Sona sonacloud.io login be posted on the group also?
Okay, Sonar Cloud.
Yes, can it be posted on the group, like the WhatsApp
The
group?
URL. Is it the URL?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna paste that now. I'm gonna paste that also. I'm sending it to them
And
now.
also the name sheet, the link that are on this chat, can it also be posted on the group chat?
Yeah, of course. It's wait,
Okay.
wait.
If it's possible, could we get like the PDF of the sessions?
Okay, PDF of the sessions. Okay, instead of the video, you want to get the PDF. Okay, that's the transcript. Okay,
Yeah, video is
yeah, I'll speak to
video and the
actually to
Because
PDF.
management.
Fine.
That should be possible
class,
actually. So they should be
last
doing
class,
that actually.
even last class, it was said that it will be uploaded in our portals. That slide, they only
Yeah,
uploaded the class.
the video
They
was
no upload.
uploaded.
They slide like
Okay,
that slide.
So if it's possible, we
my
can
my
also be getting the slide with the
Yeah,
videos. It's better
yeah.
just for
yes,
revision after class.
exactly. My sincere apology. Actually, for the slides, I'm supposed to be the one to upload that. I got into my portal quite late, so I think I have my portal now. So I'll just do those uploads for everybody. So my
All right,
sincere
thank
apologies. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Are we good? Okay. Wale, can you go speak up?
Please, sir, is it possible for you to like this record? Please, can you please post it after this
Second.
section? Yes, sir. Is it
Yeah, of
possible?
course. So it's going to be
Thank you.
definitely going to be on the portal. So I'll
All
just
right.
wait for it to drop. You know, it's Google Meet. It has to drop. Then I pick it up. I'll upload to the portal.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And one
Okay.
more thing, please don't forget your recording for the Mac guys.
Yes, of course. I'm jotting them down. Or everything you guys are requesting, I'm jotting them down on my notes. So I'll get that done tonight. And you guys, once you are up, you get to see them all by tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you.
Okay, although to me, I couldn't install the chocolate because it was resisted from my own end. So please, I don't know. Can I come to your?
Yeah, just I'm gonna
Though the
send a
rice are
message, so you just come to my DM.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so I'll just schedule a call for you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, guys.
The class is
Good.
getting interesting though.
Yeah, by Saturday it's going to get more interesting. Okay, so thanks, guys. See you guys on Saturday. Kudos. Okay, bye.